Susie Lee, what's on the menu?
I am going to be making some really easy cranberry, brie and bacon sort of mini tartlet bites using shop bought pastry. It's so cheap and easy to use.
Is that cheating a little bit?
It's not cheating. I did say cheat. You're wanting to take the stress out of Christmas, and why not then do that, and it's cheaper.
You could use leftovers then for this.
Absolutely. Turkey, gammon, anything like that. You always have a cheese board. There's always a cheese board floating around the place, so take a big chunk of that, mix it in, some cranberry sauce. If you don't have that, some like a sweet chutney. Delicious.
I think that's good as well, because you're going to have people come to your house who are like, I'm a vegetarian, or I don't eat bacon, or I don't eat this, and at least you've got the skeleton for loads of different options. Good.
Absolutely.
I like it.
So it's cheapish to make, you can do it quick. Can you freeze it?
Yes, you can. So you can have those pre-made like that. I could pop those straight into the freezer now and just heat them up from frozen for about 10 minutes. And they will be bubbling and oozy and delicious to eat.
We can't wait. Right, Susie?
Can we have some soon?
Yeah. Not yet, they're not cooked. Do your thing, Susie.
First, I am going to fry off some of these bacon lardons. You can use normal rashers of bacon or back bacon, but this is already pre-chopped and it's easy to cook. Into a cold frying pan and gently heat the pan up. What this does is slowly cook through the bacon and releases any moisture that is in the bacon. But then this also stops it making the pastry soggy when you're cooking the tartlets. So what you're looking for is the oil and moisture releasing from the pieces of bacon. And then within about 5 minutes, you'll start to hear some sizzling. And when the bacon becomes opaque and fully pink, that's when it is cooked and you can take it off the heat. Next, I am going to be cutting out circles from this pastry, but to make sure I've enough pastry, I'm going to roll it out a little bit more. So just another piece of parchment paper or greaseproof, and we're just going to slowly ease out this pastry. And just so it's nice and thin, a couple of millimeters thick, and so it'll be nice and crispy, and it will just be really lovely and light. Okay, just your cutter, and if you don't have a cutter, then use a mug or a glass. In the oven, I have preheated a baking tin. It's upside down, and what this does is it gives the bottom of this tin a really good hot surface to sit on, and therefore you'll get nice golden brown pastry cases when we serve them. So carefully lift off each circle and gently ease in the disc into the bottom of the tin. And it doesn't need to be perfect, just as long as it lines the bottom of the bun tin shape. You're gonna eat it. It's absolutely fine. So next I'm going to chop up my brie, but you can use camembert, you can use cheddar, whatever you have in your cheese board. Use what you like most. So I'm just going to chop this into cubes, and I'm going to make them quite chunky. So literally chop them into rectangles and then little cubes then here. If your house is roasting, then I would pop this block of brie into the freezer for about an hour, just so that it firms up and then it isn't disintegrating and oozing all over the place. It just makes it easier to cut. The bacon has now cooled. I'm using some cranberry sauce, and we're just going to start building this then. Some cranberry sauce in there and a mixture of bacon and brie, and that's it. just a small teaspoon into the base of each little pastry disc that's in your bun tray. And just using your spoon, push the cranberry sauce to just cover the bottom of each pastry disc. And what this does is it sort of weighs down the pastry and it doesn't puff up then. You'll see that sometimes pastry will rise and you don't want that pocket of air at the bottom of the pastry. So this kind of just gives it some weight and it becomes really, really sticky, and it's just a brilliant accompaniment with the brie and bacon. And now you can just build a couple of cubes of the brie and then a little sprinkling of the bacon lardons. And you just keep repeating. It's super simple and you can add anything to this. You have a basic pastry shell and you can just make it your own with whatever leftovers you have at Christmas. These are now ready for the oven at about 180 degrees fan for about 25 to 30 minutes until the cheese is bubbling and golden and you can see the pastry is nice and brown as well.
A mini mountain of mini pies made by Suzie Lee.
So yeah, I would say if you want to tuck in, please do.
Okay, you go first and try to be quiet.
Okay. I'm not usually oh.
Let's focus on Cate and her reaction.
She's watching it's hot.
Are you good at yums on the radio and TV? Yeah. So how does it taste?
Really good.
Don't talk in your mouth though.
Here's the piggy.
I'm going to take one as well. They are quite hot. Now,
They're just out of the oven.
I could do this in one bite, but it's Christmas, so I'm being polite and I'm going to do a few. Oh, it's amazing.
Very Christmassy.
It's sweet, it's salty. There's a good chew to texture, there's a creaminess of the cheese, there's the
Pastry's really light. Oh, it's gorgeous.
crunchy. They're amazing.
See, and it's a real good party food, you know, snack as well. And also people are like, oh, look at you, you've made mini tartlets. And you're like, yeah, from scratch.
I would lie and say I made the pastry myself from scratch and then threaten to fight anyone that didn't agree with me.
You're very Christmassy. You're talking fighting people.
Ho, ho, ho.
Santa's watching you.
I'm on the good list. Can't say the same for you, Conway.